Hey, it's Leroy Scott at www.leroyscott.com, your relationship coach. Again, I told you, I'm rolling my sleeves up on these right here. I want to talk about dealing with unruly teenagers. Now, we've all had them, and if you've ever raised children, if you've ever raised teenagers, then you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes things can get so hard. So I want to hit 4 points right now, but parents, you got to get your gloves on now. When I say get your gloves on, I just mean you got to just stand up, be strong, be confident. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid. You got to be solid on this thing because God made you a parent. God put that child in you and gave you that child, and children are heritage from the Lord. So we're not going to stop once they start transitioning from childhood to adolescence. Even though that war gets difficult, we're going to roll our sleeves up and get serious about parenting because our children are going to win. That's right. Number one. One of the reasons your child, your teenager, has become so unruly is because they're hurting inside. And I want you to always keep that in your mind. One of the reasons they're hurting so much or they're acting out is because they're hurting inside of themselves. So beyond their behavior, I want you to take a glance, take an inside look at what could possibly be going on inside of them. You know, when children are hurting inside, they normally don't talk about it. As a matter of fact, even when they're younger than teenagers, sometimes they process through their pains and their hurts and their discouragements. They process through that in play therapy with toys, with baby dolls, with cars. So as teenagers, they process through things the same way, right? So one of the reasons they're unruly is because they're hurting inside. And we don't want to just focus on behavior. We want to focus on the pain that that child may be going through. Number two, you've got to get confident again. You've got to get strong again. Despite how you feel about your baby, how much you love your baby, you've got to set the rules and you've got to set the reinforcements and you've got to set the rewards. This is what I say. I say write them down, put them on a piece of paper, post them to the refrigerator. You know, being a teenager is different because at teenager, you got to do some bargaining with teenagers. So it's all about contracts. Somebody say contracts. If you're watching this, say contract, contract, contract. Because when you do behavioral contracts with your teenagers, you actually set them up for real life. You can't buy a house without a contract. You can't get a car without a contract. Most of your jobs are about contracts. If you're going to work for somebody, you got to have a contract. Even relationships are contractual. So listen, contract, contract, contract. If you do this, I'm going to do this. If you do well at this, I'm going to do this again. So learn to negotiate. You know, it's not like when they were young where you say it and they do it. Once they become adolescents, they need more kind of negotiation. They need some compromise. So it's all about contracting. If you can help them develop behavioral contracts where you set the rules, you set the reinforcements, and you set the rewards, you're not only helping them now, but you're setting them up to get good contracts in their life. Number three, I want you to develop the emotional strength to be a parent. That's right. I want you to dig down in yourself and not feel guilty about the mistakes you've made or make excuses for the reason things may be the way they are now. Because I'm going to tell you something. Your child's behavior may be related to something you did or something you didn't do. None of us are perfect. And parenting is one of the hardest jobs in the world. But you've got to get beyond that. You've got to get beyond your guilt. You got to get beyond your negative thinking. You got to get beyond your insecurities. Because I'm telling you, it is time to parent. And if you don't parent, you're going to lose your child. So strengthen your feeble knees. Get back up on your feet. Roll up your sleeves and get ready to rumble because you have to stay in this fight with your kid to ensure that they are successful. Number four, you need some help. You need help. That's right. You can't do it alone. You can't keep the things a secret that are going on in your home and that your kids are doing. You need some help. So what I want you to do is I want you to make a list of some of the supports, so social supports that you can have in that relationship with that kid. See, a lot of times when kids do things, you want to keep it a secret. You want to keep it in house. But I promise you, if you keep it a secret and you keep it in house and you don't have any social support, that kid's going to wear you out. Dealing with an unruly teenager can be one of the most detrimental things you'll ever face as a parent. So build your network. Build your network. Build your network. Let people in social circles in so they can provide some kind of support. Get in touch with governmental agencies. Get in touch with community agencies. Get in touch with your church. Get in touch with law enforcement. Get people in your circle. It's true. It takes a community to raise a child. You don't have to do this one alone. I'm here to help you. www.leroyscott.com, the author and producer of Redemptive Sonship, helping boys build solid relationships with their fathers. Also the author of Unbreaking the Heart, How to Forgive Anybody for Anything in 5 Simple Steps. And now I want to help you get your son or your daughter exactly where you want them to be. Thank you for tuning in to www.leroyscott.com and Leroy Scott TV, and we'll see you next time.